So, Baba, obviously you mentioned as well that before previously you kind of had limited access to who you could ask advice from and gain knowledge from. And I think that knowledge, I guess, wouldn't just be limited, but it would also be kind of biased because everyone has their own experiences and their own lived experiences and they're providing their knowledge through that. But I feel smartphones and social media have kind of taken that filter away where you get unbiased information regardless of who you are and regardless of what background you're from. Similarly with that knowledge, it kind of used to be locked away in universities, in libraries, sometimes even elite networks. You had to kind of know the right people to find the right paths or the right avenues. But now it's in our pockets. It's kind of like this online virtual revolution. So my question to you, Baba, is have smartphones democratized knowledge and opportunity more than any other technology in history?
Well, of course it has. In olden times, there were a lot of gatekeepers. For example, if you want to publish a book, so you would need to go through certain publishers, and according to their choice, you can only publish a book. If you wanted to introduce a certain brands, and brands already in the supply chain would have had the strong brands already kind of existed and launching, and you wouldn't find distributors and all that. So now there are all sorts of platforms. You can create your own brand and so compete with the biggest brand available in the market. That's why the BYD, the Chinese car, which just came only a few years ago, and have started beating the biggest car brands in the world. So same goes for other opportunities. For example, because before what the issue was that the people who knew people would get doors open for them and people who didn't would struggle. But now it's available to everyone, and as long as you can sell anything across the world, you can sell your ideas, your content, your art, your craft, or you seek advice from anyone and you can find mentors or career choices. So that small group of people who found certain advantage in early life or gained some wealth had elite groups had a lot more advantage on normal people when it came to access of information or understanding which business or which kind of thing would work for their advantage. The social media has kind of flattened the world. It has made more accessible for everyone to, as long as they have the courage to challenge an existing brand or existing idea or anything else. So that definitely has improved.
And I agree because that barrier of entry to success is definitely kind of reduced through this.